What's going on, everybody? This is Max, and welcome back to our series where we take a look at indie games to see whether they are right for you. I need a name for this series, so real talk, if you've got an idea, drop it in the comments down below. I'd love to get something a little bit better than the series where we look at indie games. But today we are looking at a game called Sovereign Syndicate that I am actually really excited about. It is a classic RPG set in this Victorian kind of steampunk world. It promises that you'll be exploring an open world of back alleys and brothels and opium dens as one of three characters. And rather than having these more random stat points that you put in every time you level up your character, you actually have to use your stats and skills in order to level up different skills. Sounds a little bit to me like the skill system in Skyrim, with a gameplay similar to something like Disco Elysium or Citizen Sleeper, you know, those kind of Baldur's Gate style RPGs. I'm super excited for it. Let's take a look at it right now. Atticus Daly. So we've got what seems like four options here. He grew up in a coward orphanage using his illusory magic abilities to disguise himself as a human. Retreating from unforgiving world into study, he meets challenges with a sharp mind and a silver tongue. Each one of these seems to have a different set of attributes and perks and major arcana. I'm not exactly sure what that means yet. Blaming his fiery temper on his minotaur blood, he learned to intimidate his enemies and embrace the rush of combat. Or to be a great illusionist, he practiced sleight of hand. He's surprisingly nimble for a minotaur. Interesting. So we've got conjuring, persuasion, intimidation, or fine motor. I like the idea of conjuring, to be able to disguise yourself as a human. Seems kind of cool. Let's give that a try. A dark shape looms over you. Against the guttering lamplight, the black shadowed form hovers unsteadily like a cutout in a magic lantern. You can't be sure whether it's real, living thing, or another grim manifestation from your week-long bender, which at first blush you appear to have survived. Or is this in fact death come to claim you? In any case, the specter seems to be in no hurry to move along. Painful memories prick your gin-addled brain. Now you recall why you're here. You chose this alleyway in London's East End to drown the last of your days in drink. Well, if this apparition isn't the angel of death, then even at suicide, you have failed. I'm getting some major Disco Elysium vibes from this, holy crap. Atticus, he's coming, wake up! Get out of my head, you old crone. Atticus Daly, says the masked stranger. How does he know my name? But I'm not sure what self-discipline is. Self-reflection. His voice is cold and mechanical, like the hinge of a heavy iron door. Concealing his identity, no doubt. I can try to speak or say nothing. There's an 88% chance that this works, but it says that it costs me one nerve. Let's just try say nothing. He proffers me with a tin stippled flask. A small kindness. Let's wave it off. Very well then, suit yourself. Stowing the flask, the stranger leans back in the dim light of the gas lamps. I can finally see his features in full. He wears a brass-buttoned traveling waistcoat, complete with a scarlet hood and a mask of ornate gold panels. It glitters in the gaslight, delicately crafted. His mask may be pretty, but it'd still stop a bullet. On your feet now, you sorry sight. Oh, this is cool. I love this character design. It's really neat. Dizzy from the head rush, it's hard to keep my balance. Who are you and what do you want with me? A friend, in need of your services. But a man of his station so deep in the docklands spells trouble. In need of my brawn, no doubt, looking for someone to do his dirty work. I need a moment to get my bearings. Fair enough, but I'll be watching. The stranger pulls back his waistcoat, showing off a gilded flintlock pistol. Over the years, many a minge bag have come to collect. This barmy naff is no different. So many outstanding debts and foregone second chances. No matter, let it be tonight then, or he can try like all the others. Okay, these are very similar. Let it be tonight then. I got +1 black bile. Is that an item? Doesn't look like it. Come now, surely things aren't so dire. And what of life's pleasures? Is there nothing worth living for? What I need is a peace and quiet, a place to clear my mind, or can't hardly focus on the pleasure in such a state. Far too many voices in my head. The old crone isn't actually physically here. But he walked off this way. So it's click movement. That's the left mouse button, seems to move you around. I think he went off in this direction here. Somewhere. Did I miss-see where he went? He's not up the stairs, right? Let's check up here. Looks like each individual door tells you whether you can open it or not. A slatted wooded basket made from hazel cuttings. Willow branches weave around the bottom for support. Why am I up here looking at a basket? Surely I have more important matters to attend to. I smell the rotting fish from here, several days past its prime. Let's lean in. White strips of flesh swimming in a pool of decomposition. Kippered herring? Oh, I see. You can actually scroll over these and scroll up and down in the list here. Oily fish that's salted or pickled and then cold smoked over smoldering wood chips. Let's open it. 88% chance for Constitution. And I think this is what the game calls its tarot card feature. Let's flip one. The 10 of Cups. +1 phlegm. What is happening? What, black bile and phlegm? The acrid smell brings tear to my eyes, but somehow my stomach doesn't empty itself out. Let's dig through it, I guess. 54% chance now to dig through it. 7 of Cups. In for a penny, in for a pound. The smell from the lungs and the bloodstream. Oh, God. Okay, the sound is terrible there. That's disgusting. -10 nerve, -5 vigor. It's seeping into my very soul. For God's sake, back away from this basket. Okay. Yeah, maybe eating rotting fish was kind of the game's way of saying you can do whatever you want, but maybe you don't want to. Let's head this way. I'm noticing the camera's a little bit jittery. That may just be a side effect of the current state of the game. I'm not sure if they intend to fix that, but the environment is beautiful. Love this, this sort of steampunk London environment. Military grade reinforced with barbed wire. The sign reads, Werewolf Containment Zone in luminescent paint. Electric bolts arc between the fence posts. The smoky ozone scent flooding your nostrils. With the full moon still a few days off, it may be safer inside, instead of at a whimsy of the stranger in his brocade waistcoat. Mechanisms, no harm in a look. 69% chance, nice, we could do this. Or maybe not. Okay, not going too well. These damn Minotaur eyes, hard to focus in the shadow light. Can't see a decent way around. I'll take a running start and charge right through it. Let's just give it a go, right? Oh my God, did we just die? A penny paper lays in a rain puddle, sodden and scarcely legible save for these lines. Minotaur body found, no known relatives. Service held by the Sacred Heart, alms accept. Okay, I think we just died. Let's go ahead and retry. I don't know if the game fully... Oh, this is different. This is a completely different start. But maybe it's just the continuation of the game, possibly? Yeah, that's probably what's up. Okay, where did this guy go? Oh wow, you can click on so many different objects around here. Julian Bertram O'Brien, orphans missing from the Sacred Heart Orphanage. Small reward furnished upon any information leading to their safe return. Please have a heart for our poor children. The Sisters of the Sacred Heart, 22, blah, 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 alms exception. Okay. I remember this place. And what's it got to do with me now? More yellow bile. When a tragedy strikes, the ripples are far-reaching. A brother and sister, gone missing from where I was brought up. Being an orphan myself, should I be the one to investigate? There are unsettled spirits in the Docklands, and like it or not, I play a part in their pageantry. Hopefully not as some marionette with strings to pull for their amusement. I know what the word marionette means, but I like that if this were being played by a younger person who maybe hasn't heard all of these terms, or if they're obscure terms in the world, the descriptions of them are actually pretty neat. Then I should leave no cobble unturned. Let's search for the missing orphans. Something's not right here, and orphans in the Docklands need all the help they can get. Is there anything back here in the alley? Doesn't look like it, though. It looks like we... Oh, okay, we can just kind of go back to where we were. Yeah, the theme of the game is just dripping with these big cog wheels coming out of the pipes. Maybe a little bit too on the nose. Stranger stands with a loose grip on his flintlock. Forgetting something? Right, thanks for the wake up. Now I'll just be on my way. Is that a smile? With the hinges on the mask, it's rather creepy. Perhaps the mage has a weapon. There's a jewel spark in his eyes. He's planning to put the squeeze on. Bollocks, I forgot my cane sword. Rough crowd where we'll be going. You might need it. Oh yes, he's tuned into my thoughts. He takes a repeating match and lights a cheroot. Now this one I don't know. A filterless cigar, clipped and untapered at both ends, waiting for me to return with my personal effects. Oh, do I have to go all... Okay, we could probably just take this little side path here through the alleyway and grab my cane. I didn't notice it on the ground back here when we first got up, though I don't... Oh, there it is. An evening cane concealing a steel blade in a cherry wood sheath. Below the brass figurehead handle is a band of crushed velvet, battle-scarred with a well-worn handle, and suitable in aristocratic circles. Take the cane with you. Let's back up. What a distinguished Minotaur with the top hat and all. I'm legitimately, and an orphan, super curious about the background of this character. So far, they've done that very well. Okay, I got my cane. What's up? The stranger stands with a loose grip on his flintlock. Right then, you ready, sight? Let's get going. We'll need you battling on a full wicket. A phrase taken from a game of cricket. Okay, at full capacity. He reaches for my arm as if to drag me along. Should I let him ragdoll me around East London? Not a chance. Oh, 44% for not a chance. I haven't the strength to resist. Be patient. Wait for the right opportunity. I'm glad we understand each other. Come on then. I didn't even say that out loud. No question about it. He's reading my thoughts. Where are you taking me? Or my head is low like a man condemned to die, but I'd rather not suffer any more curses. Whatever he's planning, I'll find out soon enough. +1 blood. There's no time for dawdling. Belland, he hasn't any conscience. If it seems like London left you behind, humor me for the evening. Otherwise, I'll deliver the bounty on your head, and I won't have wasted any time. I'm super curious what this blood versus bile, yellow bile, black bile, like what do those actually mean? Your headache rages with a fierce second wind, and every step is a hammer and nail in your psyche. The stranger's reckless pace only makes matters worse, his arm like a vice grip, dragging you down a maze of twisted alleyways until at last a string of paper lanterns appears, buoys in a sickening sea of the night, the cherry glow of Red Lantern Lane. Within waves of jasmine and sandalwood incense, memory washes fear away. This may be the only place that could convince you to keep on living, even just for a night. The gas mantle above the door fills you with a fondness, cleansing the rust of your mind, gouging hangover. You've arrived at the Red Lotus Den, the only place you've ever felt at home. No need to be pulled along now. You willingly go inside. Happy now? Body aches, persistent nausea from a physical standpoint, I'm barely holding together. Allow me to rephrase, have you ever been happy? Oh, I want to do recollection many years ago. Let's give it a try. Screw it. 25% chance. There's 3 cards. I'm not sure how that's possible. Okay. Many years ago. Plus 10 nerve. And what of those memories? I'd rather not discuss it. I kind of don't want to leave those memories of being an orphan if that's going to affect hunting down or finding the orphans where they're at. But at least he brought me here. Might finally get a fix. Withdrawals. They can muddle our heads and make us weak. Don't worry. You'll feel better soon. I want to remark the music and its integration with the audio of the game is beautiful right now. You hear that? Steaming bath awaits your tired bones. Would it be good to get cleaned up? I think maybe not right at this moment. Piss puddles in the Docklands backwaters are the only bath I'll ever need. I wouldn't go that far. I'm getting some Fallout 4 vibes. A brass... lintled? Brass lintled? Mahogany bar, lined with candles, casting eerie shadows on the centaur behind it. Oh, that's a centaur as well. The cloying scent of mange. I'm not surprised. But did it have to be a centaur? Some centaurs have been kind to me. I won't pass judgment until he proves me wrong. I'm noticing coloration of this. This is one phlegm, and it's green, which is interesting. If we open up the character, oh, okay, here we go. Self-discipline, animal instinct, spryness, and wit. And based on how we react, we're getting different points to increase these. Looks like the self-discipline either gives us 5 conjuring or is related to 5 conjuring. And in case you're curious, we're male and 38 years old. Let's give it a shot. The centaur leers his misshapen chin, a shelf for his cigarette, jutting from a jangle of bad teeth. His bare chest is stricken with psoriasis, and the scaly rash reddens his pock-marked cheeks. Good evening, sir. We'd like to gain admittance. He glares at the stranger, but his eyes fix on me instead. Let the cow pie speak. He's got some quarrel with yours truly. No quarrel, just here for the Lotus. Is that so? We're here for the Lotus, nothing more. Oh wow, I didn't realize this is a centaur body. I only was focusing on his legs and body there. I didn't see the rest of it. Not buying it. This one's got a screwed up fizz. What's the matter, eh? 19% chance to persuade, or did someone forget to muck out your stall this morning? I smile as condescendingly as possible. Something wrong with your sniffer, I spec. Need a pretty little ring through it, eh, heifer? A particularly hateful slur for a minotaur. We'd like a luxury booth, best in the house. The damage is done. He called me a heifer. Oh boy. That's quite a vocabulary, but it won't matter once Bixby shows up. Bixby, eh? We'll see about that. He'll be making his rounds any minute. I'm digging. Oh my god, another centaur! What is this world? That's crazy. Out trots Mr. Browncoat. Surely come to see what the fuss is about. He has a distinguished, long-faced countenance, sporting a gold pocket watch and a lavender-tinted pince-nez. If anybody in chat knows what a pince-nez is, hit me up. With octagonal frames, settled low on his aquiline nose. Despite his careful preening, the turbulence of a life lived in the margins shows on his face. What's going on out here? I was just coming around for a go-round, and what do I come upon but an argument in the foyer? Your new bouncer didn't seem to recognize me. But Mr. Daly is one of our regulars. Okay, here we go. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yes. I'm sorry, Mr. Browncoat. Should have known. We'll talk about this later. As you can see, there are clients to entertain. Bixby darts a disapproving look at the bouncer. I suppose good help is hard to find nowadays. Rest assured you'll have a private booth and a hot tea on the house. Now, gents, let us away to the Lotus. The writing so far is absolutely just incredible, really good. Reminds me a little bit of the writing in Citizen Sleeper, really, really well crafted, lots of descriptors. It's beautiful, even though they have the visual elements to aid it. Bixby ushers you through the door and leads you down the back stairs, the stranger on your heels like a stubborn shadow. The Red Lotus is draped in a haze of pale smoke, dotted with flickering candles and incense glowing like cinders in the night. The smell of burning opium is dark and rich, like a batch of overdone biscuits, with a sharp, fishy afterbite. The pale red glow from the Chinese lanterns paints the space in a perpetual twilight. It's easy to lose track of time within these walls, whiling away your days in a blissful, waking dream. There's a little robot here. What's going on there? What's with that gear clattering racket? A jet of steam cuts through the quiet of the den. What's an automaton doing here? It's not as if it can partake. Minotaurs are welcome, then why not Tin Willies? Sorry there. Didn't mean to startle you. Oh, cutie. Look at that. Off it goes, heading for the private section. Oh my gosh. There's a sunken area here. The floor pit has benches with tufted upholstery and pillows, costing a halfpenny an hour. It's so late that the addicts have gone home. Just before sunup is the only time the Red Lotus is empty. We're heading towards the private section, I think. Bookshelf here. Sturdy yet musty old bookshelf. The spines show such titles as Arcane Magic on the Eastern Edge of Ruin, Opium Through the Ages, and parlor games, Love in the Dreamtime. Couldn't there be a secret door behind it? 4% chance worth a look. Let's try it. Worth a look. Doesn't look like it. Might be a hidden switch behind one of the books. Searching high and low, I can't see anything but old tomes. I'm super curious if there actually is. The dwarf and the automaton. Evening, stranger. The dwarf has a warm and amiable look, with the sort of lucid blue eyes I couldn't stay angry at. His gaze is so sharp and clearly intelligent that I find myself intrigued. Below his crystal blue eyes is a broad nose and a red mustache, so full that it just might crawl off his face and build a cocoon. His beard is as red as a skinned rabbit, braided and brass-ringed in the common style. I finger the brass ring in my own goatee. It's stringy and coarse compared to his elegant bristles. How you do? Just fine. Some kind of inventor, are you? Aye, name's Theodore Redgrave, Brotherhood of Boffins. Technical experts often in a skill considered to be complex, arcane, and difficult. But call me Teddy. Most people do. I cannot do a Scottish accent for the dwarf, by the way, don't ask. No clue what a boffin is, some kind of magician? Boffins, eh? Oh yes, the Royal Society funds all kinds of industrial research nowadays. There's a brotherhood for every branch of science, but I'm with the DA division for automatons. Your automaton, has it got a name? This here's Otto. Doesn't care for strangers, but you can't really blame him. Part of his programming. Stands to reason one must protect himself. Can never be too careful nowadays. Struth, if I ever heard it. What can I call you, sir? Atticus Daly. Teddy pats the automaton with his fat paw. Mr. Daly, from the both of us, it's a pleasure. Otto's gonna need some tweaks before he brawls, but we'll have him in fit of fiddle as then. Brawls? You must mean the pit fights. Aye. The werewolf pits, to be precise. See, I'm a hunter of fell beasts and monster. After the pit fights, those outlaws are all tattered Tatterdemalion? I've never heard of this word before. What? I'm definitely not pronouncing that. I'm gonna have to look that one up on YouTube. Much easier to take in for a bounty. Only 3 days there, the moon is full bellied. Better have a good mind good mind who you're betting on. That's quite an occupation. Never a dull moment, I suppose. That's true. I just knew you were a man of culture. Come to think of it, a stature like yours could make for an opportunity. Would you have interest in joining my docket? I can pay you handsomely, of course. We didn't exactly go with the animal instinct kind of like fighty, so I'm gonna say not to my taste, but I could be convinced if the purse was right. Man's gotta eat after all. Well, I'm pleased to be acquainted. Perhaps our paths will cross again soon. Wait a moment, if I had a little scrap to sell you, would you be interested? Sure as sight. There's all sorts of gleam in the gutters. Let me know what you find and I'm your man. Cheers, Teddy. Be seeing ya. Where am I headed? Private booth? Lattice wooded screens and high-backed seating provide some comfort and privacy for those who can afford it. The booths are made from luxurious, soft calf leather, well-oiled and plush with dimpled riveting. Delicate china and exclusive menus of the den's offerings are available for those of a more discerning taste. Seems like you're in for a treat on account of the stranger's pocketbook, as fat as a Christmas goose. Let's show a little restraint. Still, I'd like to know what his motive is. Why invite me here? I'd have to admit I'd be rather in a cozy private booth than a vomit-soaked alleyway of deathbed, even if it's just for tonight. It's worth seeing what he's after. Infuriating, but I can't keep the crone from intruding. Nevertheless, the stranger is waiting on me. Let's get on with this. The menu is embossed with a handsome array of oral morphines, liquid and powder cocaines, and many strains of midnight oil, which is opium. Teddy seems an interesting chap, and the automaton's quite something, isn't it? Yes, an amusing match, but I'm sure you didn't bring me here to discuss the clientele. We've got plenty of time for explanations. Why don't we start with a sample of some of the den's wares? Careful now. He's clearly trying to curry favor, although it would be good to loosen up. With so many dear, poisonous variations, it's hard to decide what will hit the spot. I must say I'm impressed with your discretion. I would have thought that just any fix would do. Thanks, I suppose, but I know it's not from the kindness of your heart. We'll see if you sing the same tune when it's said and done. Now then, while you think about the entree, I'll prepare the appetizer. He takes a small tablet out of his shirt sleeve, cracks it in half, and drops it on into my teacup. The other half goes into his own. Homemade remedy, eh? Black bile level up. I'm just kind of curious about this. 10 out of 10 black bile to next perk. If I click on this. Ah, so I have the option of 3 tarot cards. Increase our wit by 1. Increase our max nerve by 10. Or all skill checks from the deck this card is bound to are made at +1. I'm not quite sure what maximum nerve is, but all skill check in the death book are made by 1. Or this is the death new major tarot. I see attribute increase, new nerve increase, and new major tarot. That sounds interesting. Let's give that a go. Let's see if we can increase self-discipline before the end of this. Not to worry, I wouldn't kill us both, now would I? Besides, I could have done you in already if I wanted to. Well then, cheers to not killing anyone. The drugged tea restores my spirits instantly. I got plus vigor and plus nerve. That must be these 2 resources here. Yeah. Some challenges require vigor to attempt. Do not allow it to reach 0. Some challenges require nerve to attempt. Took me ages to perfect this remedy. Not much for cocaine myself, but when it's blended with the turmeric and a resin and myrrh to bind the capsule, that ghastly teeth-gnashing anxiety's gone, leaving just the euphoria. Seems the stranger is no stranger to drugs. The pains of my withdrawal are all but absent now. And for the main course, how about White Wind Elation? You must be fond of that one. His light-hearted confidence seems like a front, as if he knows you better than he's letting on. Any sort of psychic barrier is useless. Bothersome hag won't leave me be, and here I am face to face with a telepath. The White Winds happens to be one of my favorite, but of course, you already knew that. I know little about you, it's true, but it's part and parcel with my profession. I keep tabs on people who pique my interest. What is your profession exactly? Let's say I look after Her Majesty's interests with great vigor when they align with my own. Her Majesty, has the Queen taken an interest in me? How have you been tracking me? It wasn't all that difficult. You only have a few haunts. On with it then. What else do you need to know? That depends. Do you want the details or shall I summarize? Let's have a summary. You've tried my patience long enough. Very well then, I need you to verify one of your memories. This fellow's lost his mind. I know about your childhood at the Sacred Heart Orphanage, but something's happened there that you seem to have forgotten. If you can remember with the help of Auntie Emma, which is Opium, it can lead us to your mother. You're saying she's still alive? I found her name on a ledger at Sandthorn Asylum. As for your father, he was exiled and never seen again. There's no telling if he's alive. I've seen my share of swindlers, but this takes the cake. Of course, it's just a theory until I match the names. I don't suppose you know any of your mother's family name. Perhaps if I racked my brain, but I'm not sure I ever knew it. I didn't think you would. But if your mother's name is still on the record at the Sacred Heart and it matches the Sandthorn Ledger, then we have a chance to prove her identity and break her free. That means digging up memories socked away. I'm sure if my mother's alive, she's forgiven me. I don't mean to sway your opinion in that regard, but unless you can think back to those troubling times, then it won't be worth more than the price on your head. He's offering me a chance, but only if I can draw up those memories. I could never force your hand, so what'll it be? The dream dose and a voyage beyond the banks of memory? Or the death dose and the end of all your days? I think he's serious about the death dose, so let's take the dream dose. You take the stranger's offer, eager to lose touch with harsh reality and the chance to call back memories that could lead to your mother's whereabouts. Falling into an opium dream, the stranger's recent inquiries remind you of growing up in the Sacred Heart Orphanage. Okay, I think that's the small taste that they gave us of the demo of the game. I'm actually really excited. I thought the writing was really, really nicely done, and I'm super excited to see what they pull out with this. There's no planned release date for the game as far as I know, but if you are interested in it, you can of course wishlist and follow it on Steam. And don't forget, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button. Let me know down below what you would like to see from Sovereign Syndicate compared to other RPGs in the past, and I will see you in our next video. See you then.